Hello. I just wanted to talk about what I wish I'd been told when I was younger about being autistic and living in this world, because it's been quite a struggle to get to the age of 50 and learn the things now. Wish I'd had a little book on it to say this is because of this is because of that, um, and then I wouldn't have worried and sat and thought and been upset, um, beat myself up, all those things. If I'd known at a certain age, I know like the way the brain processes information changes as we get older. Something I've noticed that when you're young up until about 3, 4, and then perception starts to come in at around, real understanding of some things by about 7 and 8. And that is, I think, when I went really quiet and withdrew. Whereas I think you can go two ways at 7 and 8. Everybody's different, I know that. So it's not like this is the rule. But I know that from experience and seeing some things that some 7 year and 8 year olds go outward and start to who are autistic or potentially autistic or neurodivergent, start to lash out, so their meltdowns become outward. But some of us, we do the opposite, we go inward, and that's what I did. I went inward. So, but I think I don't know how to apply it, but I do think that from an age young, depending on the child, maybe I don't know. This is just my thoughts anyway. An introduction into how people kind of think and are, but without worrying them. So I know it's a challenge, but I know, um, like life is partly, well, it is like a learning curve, isn't it, as you go along. And sometimes you're not meant to know, I think, some things until a certain age, until you're ready to deal with them, or certain things like that, to have the mental understanding. But I do think about that maybe if I'd known some of the things when I was younger, and somebody we didn't really know much about autism in those days, and it wasn't like it is now, and nobody knew I was autistic. But somebody could have just, I don't know, said to me, people, like there's quite a few things, maybe, there might be some suggestions on what you'd like to have known when you were younger. I'd like to have known, somebody actually told me directly, because I can't take subtle hints sometimes when I was younger, definitely not. Um, I'd like to have known that people don't always mean what they say, but properly told that. Um, and I'd like to have known that that part of society and growing up, um, they might lie, and I didn't really understand that one. Um, that people kind of like, when they're young, they think about appearance, and being, you know, cool, and how they act and everything. And being autistic, we don't do that one. So that one I found really confusing when I was in school, and all these people, all these kids, you know, even though they knew what was right, they go, well, you have to do it this way and you have to do that way. I didn't work that way. I just pretty much flopped along, really. Didn't really bother me, that sort of thing, being in or anything, or cool or anything like that. So I wish I could kind of known, well, this is a holistic way of being, and this is the autistic way of being, and that's fine. The way the autistic way of being is, the neurodivergent way of being is this way, but this is how holistics act. So you are very natural with who you are, and they're very natural with who they are. And I wouldn't have had that conflict that I had within me, which was I felt inadequate because I couldn't communicate like holistics did. But if I'd known when I was young Don't worry about that. This is how neurodivergent communicate, and what you're doing is what neurodivergent do. Like, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they were saying how they were told that their behaviour was odd, and it really upset them. Yeah, it would. But then I said to her, I said, well, only from a holistic point of view, but from a neurodivergent point of view, your behaviour is exactly what it's meant to be, because that's how we communicate. We communicate by oversharing is our bonding. We can be overly expressive and then nothing at all. Because I'm like that. Suddenly I'm blank, and then suddenly somebody says something about something I'm interested in, and another comment about was that they spoke really fast, but that's also what we do. It's very normal neurodivergent behaviour. There's nothing odd about it. So this is what I mean. There's still judgment out there, and this is from professionals. There's still judgment out there, but I wish I'd known when I was young. Don't worry about fitting into this. I know, holistics behave their way and neurodivergent their way, and nobody is inadequate. Well, I don't think so. Everybody has their own ways of communicating, and those are the things that I wish I'd known, because I spent a long, long time being damaged by society, and in my 40s discovering who I was and healing for like quite a few years, and realizing and owning who I am, which I should have done from the beginning, because some of us, well, all of us have got some amazing gifts. And I don't mean, like incredible mathematicians, or amazing artists, which some people are, but all across the board, isn't it? But what I mean is, what we've got to bring, neurodivergent, is amazing. And if it was recognised and celebrated, we wouldn't have those years of suffering, because we don't fit into an holistic frame. And that's just what I want to talk about, what I wish I'd known. Okay, take care. Is it gone?